right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another edition of Tuesday Night Open Mic Night with the Driving to the Top crew. My name is Big Rich. We got a full house going already tonight. Let's start directly below me. Jeremy, how you doing, buddy?
Fantastic. Great to be here. Great to talk a little sports.
Ken the Bear fan. What are you doing, man?
I just watched the 6 most torturous hours of my entire life, and I don't know why I did it, but I guess I like football. So actually, though, The Kingdom on ESPN/Disney Plus, not a bad doc, but it's Kansas City, and they're sucking Joe's left or right. I'm not sure which one Raider Nation thinks they're sucking right now, but yeah, I'm just sorry to Kansas City. Sorry.
To his right, Joe Dalio. What's up, man?
Everything is great. Good to be here the last week or two. So definitely glad to be with you guys here tonight.
Center square tonight. We got a different center square. Jamie, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I guess I'm the Drew Barrymore tonight of this show because Drew Barrymore's always the center square in the Hollywood Square, right?
That tells his age.
Nope.
I called
Right, I'm thinking
George
Paul Lynn.
Goebel George Goebel a couple weeks ago, and I only had a couple people look at me weird. So, but yeah, that tells that Jamie's the youngster of the bunch. Adam's right above him. What's going on, man?
Nothing, man. What's going on?
Most youngsters still wouldn't even know Drew Barrymore, though, to be honest, though, Rich.
Jeremy, I have a question for you.
Go ahead, Mark.
Sure.
Go ahead, Adam.
Jeremy, I have a question for you. When we did this on your show, like many, many months ago, it feels like now, did you write down what everyone said by chance?
Not a chance.
Okay. I was just curious because I did my schedule and I'm like, I don't think I had him this bad on Jeremy's show, and I just was curious if you remembered.
However,
but anyway, ready to do this. I finished all my scheduling, so yeah, ready to go.
hey, JB, we could pull the tape.
And
Yeah,
congratulations
it's
to
on
Marcus
my
for
channel,
pulling
and
the
it's on the
sponsor.
Huddle Sports Network's YouTube, so we can pull it up.
That's
We can
awesome.
pull the tape.
To Adam's right, we got Haas. What's going on, man?
Well, thank you, Jamie. Yeah, I gained a second sponsor on my show, and hell, college football's here. Give me 1, 2, boogie in, Shorty George. That's
Mr. Mosby from the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, that dance, yep.
Yeah, I got that clip
That
on my
was
phone
Haas.
now.
Crazy legs, yep.
That was Haas's Minnesota Vikings cheerleader video.
The-
That
Yeah,
was his tryout video right there.
he's auditioning.
Yeah, fucking quit. Blowing on the third, like on the.
Except they don't want cheerleaders with beards. They want a bunch of Tim Waltzes.
I thought you were going to say something else, Jamie.
Last
Oh,
and
Hey, that's
definitely not
dancers,
least.
by the way. That's not real
Oh my
cheerleaders.
God.
They're not tossing
Well.
girls in the air. Holy shit, they're just dancing like they Beyonce.
Last but not least, we got Rav. What are you doing, dude?
Yes, sir. So we got our my beloved Sunday Night Baseball moving to NBC. It looks like I was just reading that in Friday night. So
Thank
the
God.
Peacock. So that's happening. And I just want to apologize to all you Colt fans already naming Daniel Jones as your starting quarterback. I want to apologize in advance for all the highlights you're going to get.
I'm
all
only going to
season.
push back on one thing. He at least has 10% better career QB percentage than Anthony Richardson.
Speaking of A-Rich, is this it for him? Does he go to the
Just saying.
UFL or does another team pick him up?
I think he stays as the backup for whatever that's worth.
Also, if he's watching,
I wasn't.
congrats to Jason because he was right. Joe Flacco starting week 1 for the Browns, not
Yep.
Shadir. So
By
Jason,
the way,
you were right.
anybody else see
Shaduki,
he's still-
Shabuzi, Hasefep Incorporated, anyway.
Yeah.
Does anyone
Yeah,
have a button for
Hernandez-
the dance?
Well, we need to have a dance because I see a senior in the comments.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
that's why I was asking.
Yeah, I think we can.
Joe is looking at us like, what the hell have I walked into?
He had
Oh,
been
you're
here for a
you
minute.
don't. He's new to that.
I missed
Yeah,
it.
he's new to
But,
it.
hey, I was
That's
entertained.
I was
My
going to say,
dad
do,
used
do,
to
Met,
be a
do Mets
DJ.
fans dance?
My dad used to be a DJ, so every time he comes into the chat, I found that sounder on my soundboard. So I use it.
I just saw Mets fans dancing. I was watching the game before we came on here, and there's Mets fans in Washington dancing. So
I was hoping they danced to Narco when they played that trumpet.
Wait, we're talking Mets.
There was no music, and they were still dancing.
Well, that's because they were practicing
is the
for getting
best I've
mugged.
ever seen.
They were just practicing for getting mugged, Joe. That's what it was.
The Diaz closer entrance is the best I've ever seen. The only one I've ever seen better than Diaz's closer entrance was a guy who's not even real Rick Vaughn, like in Major League. Like there's nothing better.
Nah, I'm sorry, but when you have Metallica playing your intro music live at a game, that's baller. And I'm sorry, even though I hate the Yankees with a passion, when Mario had Metallica play it live when he came into a game, I'm sorry, man, you win. Game over.
Look, when you
Metallica played
Metallica,
live too for Virginia Tech that one time.
I was gonna
Yeah, they
say
did.
Virginia Tech
Diaz
opens
had
up
the
with
guy.
Metallica, and Metallica should be the Super Bowl 60 halftime show.
They should.
We all know what it's going to be.
Tay-Tay.
Nope.
No, I already heard it. It's Carrie Underwood.
All the underlying stuff is there.
Hey, I'll be right back. My
They
boss
said it was
needed
Carrie
me to do something
Underwood.
real quick.
who's
All
it
the
gonna be, Rich?
underlying stuff is there. She talked about the 60 with her this documentary that she's doing. It with the 60, the 47, and there was a statement that came out on one of her tweets talking about leaving her heart in San Francisco and this kind of deal. There's all kinds of cryptic crap out there that it's gonna be Taylor Swift. I hope it's not. I would love for it to be Metallica or U2 again. I thought U2 was really good.
I'll tell you what, though.
Flaming liberals that hate America, dude. We don't want them.
I'll tell you what, Rich, though. Rich, I'll tell you what. After watching the Kingdom,
America, Rich, you don't want them.
After watching the Kingdom and after watching the Heights last week, where the Kelseys dropped her new album, you have to admit that she has brought more young female fans and changed the demographics. And the NFL has made so much money off her. It only makes sense from a business standpoint that she does. And I gained a lot of new respect for her in watching the Heights the other night with when she was talking, like she knows football, like Tay knows football. Like she did it, and she'll readily admit how stupid she was with football, but she now knows football and she loves the game. So I would rather see that than Beyonce.
She don't know nothing about football.
Well, ask her what
from a guy's standpoint, if they put a collective together with like a Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses, that kind of a thing, wouldn't be mad at something like that.
No.
There's a lot of Metallica would be great.
They'll never do Metallica
with a country show.
But see, they'll never
do good country show.
They'll never do like Metallica or anything that would be considered hard rock. They just won't. You'll never get to see Korn. I mean, wouldn't that be awesome? Korn and Metallica rocking halftime. You'll never see that.
I don't think.
Dude, that wave at Woodstock was unbelievable on Friday night.
They used to do rock, and now
that blind intro when they had everyone jump from side to side in perfect passion. That wave was unreal.
Swiftie
you had
fans,
almost 500,000 people jumping in sequence.
I do not want to
on
see,
Friday night.
I do not want to see the Carpenter's Nightmare at halftime. That's all I got to say.
All the NFL doesn't care. We are not the demographic. We are not the demographic the NFL is chasing. They know we're going to watch the game. But Taylor Swift, business decision-wise, oh, yeah, the biggest artist on the planet, the biggest selling artist, who, by the way, now has a brand new album that just dropped. Yeah, it makes way too much sense to have her open her tour at the Super Bowl. It makes way too much sense for the NFL financially.
Great, so she can do the halftime show when the Chiefs aren't in and then the Bills win it this year. Great.
That's fine. That's
Okay.
fine. The NFL
Great.
won't care.
The Chiefs won't even be
But
in the Super Bowl when she does it.
The point is,
Mark my
Jamie, the
words.
NFL won't give a shit. They already know that Hugh
Roger
Schwab.
Goodell's in bed with Patrick Mahomes queer.
I guarantee you, it could be the Super Bowl could be Arizona and Indianapolis, and it would get higher ratings than last year's Super Bowl just because Taylor Swift is doing the halftime show.
I'd rather see Bob the drag queen than Taylor Swift.
Tell me I'm wrong. She will draw the crowd.
Okay.
You're right.
Getting to our purpose for being here tonight,
Look, I'll tell
we
you one
are
thing.
continuing. Huh?
Oh,
Go
The
ahead.
last one, Haas. Go ahead.
Swifties can barely name 3 positions in football, and they also think tush push is a different name for anal.
They spend the money. That's all the NFL
No,
cares
the
about.
tush push is what Travis does to Taylor.
So getting to the reason why we're
No.
here tonight.
Get it right. She pegged him.
Season previews of the AFC South and the NFC West.
Woo! Anyway.
So let's start with the NFC West.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and get those run through. I think this is going to be an interesting division.
Very
Competitive. But let's start off with the Seattle Seahawks, and let's start off with Jeremy.
I think they have a very good chance at being second place this year and possibly making the playoffs. I think the only question mark they really have is the offensive line. I think they have good pieces all the way around. Not great. They didn't really replace DK Metcalf, but they really didn't need to. Because DK was a head case. He'd be in for 4 games and out for 7. So I think they're going to be fine. They got a nice running game. They, like I said, their outside O-line has been the biggest question mark they got. They got good wide receivers, not great, but you don't have to have great wide receivers to be good. They got Sam Darnold that if he's given any amount of time, will be able to make plays. So I think they're going to have somewhere like a 9 to 11 win season.
All right, Ken, what do you think?
Seattle, your savior is here. The Ginger Jesus has arrived, and you're going to suck. You're a team that the 12th man has become, well, not an advantage because you lost more games at home than you did on the road last year. Your offensive line, as Jeremy said, leaks more than, well, the Chicago Bears draft plans for quarterbacks in the 1990s. You're not that good. You really aren't. You're decent. You might make a little bit of a racket, but in the quagmire that is the West, you could get lucky and pull out a second-place victory, but I don't think so because the Ginger Jesus did not walk on purple water or teal water or green water, the fluorescent type you like out there, and you have no offensive line, and when he gets rushed, he's going to revert back to, I need to be Superman, and interceptions will follow and turnovers, and your defense will get wore down, and it's going to be a long season. I think what we're going to find out is to quote Dennis Green, in a weird way, the Vikings quarterback situation is what we thought it was. Just be a good system quarterback and you'll score lots of points. And that's exactly what Sam Darnold's resurrection was. He didn't have to do anything but put the ball where they asked him to put it, when they asked him to put it there. And when he tried to do anything else, trouble ensued. And that's all you're going to see in Seattle because you do not have even a good offensive line that's even half as good as what Minnesota had. You don't have the weapons Minnesota had. You're going to have a long year.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie?
The one thing I disagree with Ken on this is actually their O-line may actually be better than you think because I watched their preseason game against Kansas City, and the one thing they're going to be able to do, they do have a tush-push package this year with Jalen Milroe that they can run that they weren't able to do last year, and they ran it against Kansas City and got the first down on it. So like I said, even if your whole line is statistically not that good, they still have to be, big body enough to be able to run that play because you still got to have all 4 guys on the line, pushing the quarterback in to get the first down. At least they're going to be able to have that package, which will help them.
Well, that's great, Jamie, if they ever get to use it.
Mhm.
I mean, they have to be able to get to a point where they can use it, and I don't think that is going to happen too much for them.
They did use it in this preseason game against Kansas City, and they got the first down on it when I saw it. So, but anyway, Mike McDonald, I really think they called him a defensive minded. He is known for being a defensive minded coach because he was the DC in Baltimore, but I do think he's one of these young coaches who, even though he was on the defensive side of the ball, he is kind of a quarterback whisperer. And like I said, he can develop quarterbacks. And like I said, he's shown by bringing in the right offensive coordinator the last 2 years. And this year bringing in Clint Kubiak, that Clint and that offensive side of the ball can develop Darnold to whoever they put in, and they can run the football. And if they play good defense, which is McDonald's strength, I think they could be second in the division, 9 to 10 wins. I like Mike McDonald as coach.
Adam, what do you got about Seattle?
Seattle, I got
By the way, guys, before you get started, Adam, let's go do like we did last week. We'll do our thoughts, and then we'll put them 1, 2, 3, 4 after we do the whole division preview, okay? Go ahead, Adam.
I got Seattle going 10-7, but my biggest question is still these wide receivers. They're young, and a quarterback that isn't very good. But I still think they can go 10-7 in that division with that schedule they got.
Marcus, what do you think, man?
Here, but I feel like they're gonna turn. I feel like they're gonna turn heads with this whole new team. Yeah, you lost key guys. You lost Geno Smith, Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. List goes on. You got a whole new list of quarterbacks. You pick up Sam Darnold from the Vikings. You pick up Drew Lock from the Giants, and you draft Jalen Milroe from Alabama. Not to mention you pick up Cooper Kupp to be on the wide receiver line with what's that some bitch's name? He's got that weird last name.
Jackson Smith and
Jigba. Yeah. JSN, Jackson Smith. Still got him. He'll be with. I don't rely on Scantling being that good. He came from the Saints. I'll predict Cody White will be a better player than Scantling. But I think they're gonna turn heads. I mean, you wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, they got one of the toughest schedules in the league, but I think they can turn heads.
Ralph?
Seahawks are about thumbs in the middle. I'm kind of like them with the Bears, or some of the teams in the north. I don't know what to think. I'm pretty sure they'll be good on defense because Mike McDonald's there. Leonard Williams is there. Witherspoon. I do like some of the guys on defense. It really depends on how you feel about Darnold. Is if you think they're a team that's going to go to the playoffs. If Darnold can do what he did last year, then they're a team I think that can win the division and be at the top of And I think the division isn't great. I think it's somewhat winnable. But I'm kind of like thumbs in the middle with the Seahawks. I am sure their defense is going to be good. And Gray Zabel, I'm agree with Jamie. He looked really good in preseason. Everything I've seen with him, the first round pick, he's looked really good.
Joe?
All right, ditto. Just what was just said there. Thumbs in the middle, I see. Except I don't have as much faith in them as maybe some of the guys here. I could see them winning maybe 8 or 9 games. Not quite a playoff team, being competitive and maybe beating some teams that they shouldn't. But I don't see them making the playoffs. And again, I'm going 8 or 9 wins, again, with a solid defense. If the offense produces, and again, they're going to have to gel quick. And if they do, then maybe, they can get 9, 10 wins in a playoff spot. But I think it's going to be tough to do. And again, I like that thumbs in the middle, and I'm seeing them 8, maybe 9 wins for them.
Yeah, I have a lot of agreement with you there, Joe. I think their running game is going to be questionable simply based on the health of Kenneth Walker. Zach Charbonnet is okay, but he's limited. He can go for a while, but then he craps out if he gets extended too much. Mm-hmm. I do not like Jackson Smith and Jigba as a 1. He has not shown me any type of anything that says that he's a number one. And Cooper Kupp, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I think he's on his downhill slide. I don't like this team very much at all. I don't even know that they get to 8 wins, to be perfectly honest. Their defense can only take them so far. And I think Darnold's a one-hit wonder. Mm-hmm. But let's go to a team that a lot of people are talking about, especially the health of their quarterback, the Los Angeles Rams. Let's start things off with Mr. Dalio.
Yeah, I see them as a potential 10-win team. I don't have them winning the division, but I with the coaching they have, and I don't know, the guys that are there, the quarterbacking thing, I think they're a 10-win team and a playoff team, in my opinion.
Ken?
Oh, wait a minute next. Yeah, look, the Rams, Stafford will do Stafford things. He's got that X quality about him. He just does things, and all of a sudden they win games they shouldn't. And that coaching staff does things. And, they got Devontae Adams. They lose Kupp. They add Devontae, who's got a much better wingspan than Kupp. So I know a lot of people think they're NFC championship game contenders right there. I mean, it's been said. I kind of agree with that. They're in a bad division, but they're a good team. They do have, they will ride or die as Stafford does, but Stafford does more riding than he does dying. Ask Lions fans. When every time you think he's out, he will keep you competitive. I think they're a really good team. I think they're probably going to win this division, and they are a legitimate playoff threat.
Jeremy?
Well, it all hinges on tomorrow. Tomorrow, Matt Stafford gets an MRI on his back. If he has a bad disc, they're not going to win 8 games this year because they either got to put up with Stetson Bennett or bring back porn star Jimmy back from the Bunny Ranch. So that way, they won't be better than an 8-win team. But if Stafford's there, they have the chance of winning 11, 12, or even 13 in that division because San Francisco is bums when they don't have Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey in the lineup. Brock Purdy can't hit the broadside of a barn in that situation.
Jamie?
What I think is actually not talked about, their offense is their offense. And Matthew Stafford will do Matthew Stafford things. But you know what the Rams did, and this is a blueprint that you follow when you have an aging quarterback. You saw the Chiefs used to do this in 2023 when they had Mahomes and they won a Super Bowl. You're seeing the Bills trying to do the same thing this year. What are all three teams trying to do? You build a young generational defense that no one's talking about that did really well. And the good thing is they didn't build that defense just to go be one-year wonders. They're building a defense that could be a generational franchise type of defense because they're young, cheap, and they went through their growing pains, and that could help Matthew Stafford or Stetson Bennett or whatever quarterback put in there. That always helps an aging quarterback as a young generational defense. And like I said, the Chiefs did the same thing, and they won the Super Bowl with it in 2023 with Mahomes. The Bills are kind of doing that same format with Allen this year, and the Rams started that last year. So I think even if their offense struggles, I think they make a run because of this young defense that could be really good for years to come that they're building under Shula. And I'm going to say, I think they win the NFC East. I'm going to say 10 to 11 wins.
Rav, what do you got?
Oh, man, that's such a good point he made about their defense. I agree. I think none of y'all talked about Jared Verse, how good he is. I think his sack total was kind of not as high. But, man, if you don't double team him and Young, I mean, you're going to have a lot of problems with that. I'm not worried about Stafford. I think some of it they're being coy. Stafford's the toughest guy in the world. I mean, he's got killed. I mean, the whole time he was in Detroit. He'll play. He may not play week 1 or 2. They may have to sit him. he'll play. I think he'll play for most of the year. I will say this about the Rams, and this is the thing, the X factor I really like about them. Everybody thinks New England is this disciplined team, which is true. But the Rams are like the least penalized team in the last like 4 or 5 years. Every time I see the Rams play, you don't see flags, you don't see dumb stuff. They play with a lot of discipline, and that's the one thing that kind of gets them through games and win. So that's why I really like them in this division as well. Obviously, if Stafford doesn't play, that's a problem. But I think if they have Stafford there and their defense, I'm with right in there with Jamie. I think the defense is much better than what people think.
Haas, what do you think about the Rams?
Well, before the whole Matthew Stafford situation, I had him being a good team, at least good enough to make the playoffs, at least first round, but not good enough to win their division and get a deeper playoff run. That's mainly what I got. But with Devontae Adams, I had them at least being an average team this year. But now with this whole Matthew Stafford situation, if he don't end up playing, it's going to be worse than what it is. But I think he's going to play. I mean, you can't believe it. All this, like that whole shit about Matthew Stafford did everything. I knew that was all a hoax and everything because I literally just saw highlights of him warming up at practice. And I'm like, I don't know who started that bullshit, but it depends how everything goes with him.
Adam, your thoughts on the Rams?
I have them going 9-8. That's just me though. And it's like obviously I based it off of this information off of Stafford because I just did mine today. But I'm playing Stafford's going to be hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, he is getting older. If this MRI comes back bad and he's down for a sustained period, they're cooked. I don't care what you think of Kyron Williams. Blake Corum's his backup, and they didn't use him at all last year, which gave him zero experience. Devontae is more of a big play guy than Cooper Kupp was, which may complement Puka Nacua, but that's okay. Verse, they brought Verse in to be the replacement for Aaron Donald, and he has done exactly that. Is he Aaron Donald? No. I mean, come on. And that's like saying, is anybody Jerry Rice? I mean, Aaron Donald may be the best defensive tackle to ever live, or in the right discussion for it anyway. So I think it all hinges on Stafford though. His health. I've got him as a good team, but if Stafford misses a bunch of time, below average.
Hey, Rich, real quick, if Stafford is going to be out, I wouldn't rule them out of making a trade for one of these backups that might be coveted or in a camp battle. A guy like Richardson maybe, but he's got such an injury history. A guy like Bagent makes more sense because he doesn't have the injury history. But if they do get a guy like Bagent, who isn't going to, tear the cover off the ball in the NFL, but is shown to be he's going to be good for maybe 3 or 4 games and might win them 2 or 3 games out of 4, then I wouldn't put it past them to call up a team like Chicago or another team in that type of situation where they can say, hey, let us get one of these guys off your hands so you're not carrying 3 on your 53. Let me go ahead and take one of them off. I'll give you a 3rd rounder or a 4th rounder for them.
Doesn't Cleveland have like 6?
Or Cleveland, yep. Cleveland, hey, let's take Gabriel off your hand for like a 4th rounder or a 5th rounder.
That's a good point, because like you said, and like I said, with the way this defense is built, they just need a quarterback that, like I said, that can hold the fort and run that offense and let the strong defense.
It would just depend on how much time Stafford's going to be out, what kind of guy they would trade for. But, I think that's going to be a mitigator, too, to any time Stafford might miss.
In the meantime, you let that defense just do its thing, and then you figure out what happens.
Yeah. Well, next up, we got an exciting team to me anyway, offensively. Let's talk about some Arizona Cardinals here real quick. Adam, what do you got?
Is Connor going to be able to stay healthy this season? Is Kyler Murray can he shine? I don't have them doing that good. I mean, I know you like them and all, but I don't have them doing that good.
Marcus,
I've never been a Cardinal fan, so I'm kind of biased here. Be
Awesome.
honest.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be as good either.
I'm good. I'm not the only one.
They'll be the same as another team.
Is McBride gonna catch a touchdown?
I bet he does. Rav?
It's kind of hard with Arizona for me to dismiss their history of just not being a good team. It's just because they should be better. I'm looking at the roster, and they got Trey McBride there. Kyler Murray's a decent quarterback. They got some good draft pick. I like Will Johnson in the draft, but man, it's just kind of hard. Murray's just never become to what they thought he would be. I think he's kind of just – they're not good enough. If he can ever get to the point where he doesn't have 2-3 games where they're just lousy, like I think they could do something, but I kind of have them at the bottom of the division reluctantly.
Okay. Jamie, what are you thinking?
I think they're going to be a rock'em sock'em type of team. I think they're going to be their offense. I think it's going to I think they're going to score some points with McBride at tight end and Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler and that. If James Conner could stay healthy, they should be able to run the football. I think they could be a very competitive. Could compete for a wild card, I think, in year 3 under Jonathan Gannon. Year 1 was a total, Kyler Murray was hurt and it was a rebuild year. And last year they had a really good draft class and they did improve going 8-9 in year 2. And I think they had another good draft class this year. I think they start to show what team they could be in the next couple of years, and it's got to happen in year 3 under Gannon, Jonathan Gannon. So I see them winning 7-9, being in 3rd or 2nd, but I think they could compete for a wild card if things go their way.
Jeremy, where are you at on the Cardinals, man?
I think they could be better this year. I think they had a decent 2 years of great draft classes. The O-line's getting better. If Paris Johnson doesn't go doing dirty karate chops to people's elbows, maybe he'll have a great career because eventually it's going to catch up because he did get fined for that chop on Marcus Davenport last year. Other than that, they've got great pieces around. MHJ is going to be good. You got what's the other one? Trey McBride. Then you got James Conner, and even though he complained about him being hurt, he only missed 2 games, and I know I used him in fantasy last year, but that's another story. I think they're a 7 to 10 win team.
Ken?
They're my dark horse. Not that the West, the whole division is a dark horse, I guess, but look at when Kyler, I love to play Call of Duty, Murray is playing for them, they are significantly a much better team than when he's not. Last year was a good rookie campaign for Marvin Harrison, but I don't think it met the expectations that fans wanted. They got better again in the draft. They are very quietly putting together a good football team there. I watched them dismantle the Bears as they started that skid. As wheels were falling off in Chicago, they dismantled the Bears in that game. They're my dark horse in this division. If the Rams should falter, I think the Cardinals could actually win this division. And I'm thinking in this division, one team gets to the playoffs, and that's whoever wins the division. So if the Rams falter, they could easily be that dark horse team that wins the division, and they've done so very quietly.
Joe?
Yeah, I don't see that happening yet with this team. They just seem to refuse to want to take that next step and wallow in mediocrity here. I kind of see them along the same lines with Seattle. Maybe it's some potential there. The only difference is I think Seattle's defense is better, and that's why I can only see. Again, I see Arizona being a competitive team, maybe beating some teams that they shouldn't, but I see them maybe 8 wins.
I'm looking at him from the standpoint of I think this is going to be a breakthrough year for Marvin Harrison Jr. Trey McBride is a lot better player than what anybody is really saying. They want to say he's that good. That he's an upper echelon tight end, and I think this year we're going to find that out. Connor, if he's hurt, that's he's not been hurt that much. The other part of it is the depth with like DeMercado and Benson in the backfield. They've got some depth there, so it's not as big of a drop off. I personally, I think they're going to do well. I'm not saying they're going to win 13, 14 games. Trust me, I'm not saying that. But I think they're going to be a lot better than what they were last year. The last team in the division that we're going to talk about, and I'm kind of disappointed Dylan's not here tonight because of this, is the fighting San Francisco 49ers. Rav, you want to start the Niners off, man?
Yeah. I don't like the Niners. I'm shocked I'm seeing teams like a lot of the stuff like do what we're doing really like San Fran. I don't see it at all. I think the names we know are older. Kittle's probably still in his prime, but McCaffrey's older. Trent Williams is older. Bosa's still pretty good. The defense, I don't know what they're getting. A lot of those guys that replaced her weren't good last year. I think they're third or fourth. Don't like them at all. And unless Brock Purdy really is more than what we think, which is somewhat possible. I have some hope that maybe he kind of returns to form. But yeah, that defense got they lost a lot of guys in free agency on defense. A lot of their good players are on other teams now. Nafunga, Greenlaw, etc. I don't see it. It's San Fran.
Haas, what do you think?
The 49ers are going to be just as worst as the Cardinals in the story.
That was short and sweet. Adam?
I like the Niners this year with that schedule I'm looking at. I think it's like kind of easy for them, actually. But yes, their secondary is definitely a big question. What are they going to do without having that extra running back in Debo? Then they lost Mason also. As we know, they lost their defensive backs. But I think Shalow's going to be all right. I think he's going to get this defense together. Young core, young group. I think they're going to be all right.
Yeah.
Jamie, what do you think about Oh, sorry. Sorry about that.
I know I'm crazy, but that's all right.
Jamie, what do you think, man?
I actually don't think you are. I think you're onto something, Adam, and here's why I will elaborate on your take, because you could say all the things you want about what they did last year, and you could obviously we know who's responsible like for that, and that was Shanahan. But the one thing, and Ralph Williams, your guy, Ken, and your guys thing, Jeremy. Remember what he said on our round table? He said the one thing Kyle Shanahan did was he took the fall and he took responsibility, saying, look, we were flat and it was my fault because we didn't play a lot of our starters in the preseason. And so this year he took it upon himself because he's got a whole new team and he's got to see what he has to actually play his starters, which he did against Seattle, and he's going to play him in the preseason. I think the fact that he took ownership of that and decided I'm going to play my starters in the preseason as a way to correct for what happened last year could help them be better than 6-11. I could see maybe 7 to 8 for them. And that's if everybody stays healthy. And it's because the starters got those reps this year that they didn't get last year.
Joe, San Francisco.
I don't know. I have high expectations for them. When a good team has so many things go wrong in one year, it usually evens out the following year. And again, Adam mentioned the schedule. I just think, again, after everything going in the wrong direction, again, yeah, there's a lot of question marks. There's some holes. I see this team going 11-6.
Wow. Okay.
Joe, I'm right with
Ken?
you, buddy. I have 11-6 also.
Okay.
Ken, thoughts?
I don't know if you can see that or not, but
Yeah. So drugs might be cheap in other parts of the country. I'm not sure, but they're not winning 11 games in San Francisco, even though they're probably slinging that rock really cheap out there because that's all they can afford is cheap rock. Look, they're trying to be the Packers, right? They're trying to meddle in mediocrity and keep some core of relevancy together long term. The problem is they're losing too many good players. The good players they did keep are often injured. CMC, Kittle, Ayuk out for the first 6. And as JB will tell you, I'm sure next, is how bad Purdy is when certain players aren't in the game. Oh, yeah, they overpaid him too. He's probably the worst quarterback in that division. I would take Kyler Murray and the Ginger Jesus, for as flawed as Ginger Jesus is, over Purdy every day of the week. They're a dumpster fire, and we're watching it happen live. And what's funny is some people are watching the dumpster fire going, oh, no, those aren't flames. That's water. That's a new type of water we're trying out. No, they're flames. The dumpster's on fire. And I'm sorry, but San Fran, for me this year, is in the basement.
I can't wait to get to my Bears review.
Jeremy, where you at with San Francisco?
If they win 6 wins, it's a successful season because Kyle Shanahan shouldn't be a coach.
Hear, hear.
Again, short, sweet, and to the point, right?
No. Sorry. Why is he a bad coach?
Well, it all started
gotta
back
know.
with that, it all started back with the Super Bowl when he was with the fail cans. Remember they had a 31-3 lead at halftime over the Patriots, and they blew it because they didn't run the ball. Guess why they've lost every Super Bowl? They don't run the ball in the damn second half. That's Kyle Shanahan for you.
Maybe they'd be better if they hired Marshawn Lynch as their coach. You at least hand them the rock.
And then he'll laugh at you whenever you don't.
I think San Francisco is going to be having a rough year simply because of the people they've lost. And didn't have a whole lot of really impactful additions. This is going to be the year that Purdy has to. He's got to prove that he's worth something. If he has another subpar year, it's going to reflect. I'm curious to see what happens with No Debo. I'm really curious to see what happens, with just how the whole team is laid out. But I don't know that they're going to be that great. So here comes the entertainment portion of this particular aspect of the program. Let's rank these teams 1st through 4th through the division. Give us 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. And Joe, why don't you kick us off, man?
All right. I can give you some win totals too. I said the 49ers win 11. I'm going to stick with that. The Rams in 2nd with 10. I'm going to say Seattle in 3rd with 9 wins and Arizona in 4th place with 8 wins. So a very competitive division and some good teams, but that's how it turns out.
One of these divisions has to suck. Like, this is what happens every time. Like, some of the, we have a lot of these divisions and most of them end up with 8 wins, 9 wins. It can't happen like this across the board. I mean, one of the,
Right.
and I know maybe the next division we're all going to say a couple teams just completely suck ass, but we'll get there.
Rav, how do you see the NFC West?
I think the Rams do win it. They have, I don't know how much of a shot they have without Stafford. They're so valuable in offense, but I think 10 for the Rams. I think 9 for the Seahawks. I think the Cards and the Niners each get 6 wins.
Okay. Haas, what do you think?
All right. NFC West, I got the Seahawks winning the division at 10-7. I have the Rams as the runner-up, but we've seen teams make the playoffs with horrific records. And I think if by some miracle the Rams could get in, I still have them going 7-10 Meanwhile, the Cardinals third, 49ers dead last, but they both have the same record at 5-12.
Adam?
I have the Niners at 11-6, Seattle at 10-7, Rams at 9-8, Arizona at 5-12.
Jamie, what do you got, man?
Kenny, let's laugh at the end of the season, buddy.
Yeah.
That's not why I'm laughing, but I know.
Jamie, what do you got for the NFC West?
Let's see.
Ken, I even have it all written out. Like,
We'll just pull the tape.
mark it down. What time are we on? 46:08. Let me jot that down.
Jamie.
Okay. So I think, let's see, I got the Rams first. I think they're going to win 11. Seattle second with 10. The Cardinals third with 9. And the Niners, I got them last with, I'm going to say 7.
Okay. Ken, where do you see the NFC West, man?
Yeah. So look, at only one team from this division is going to make the playoffs, and that's whoever wins the division. If Stafford is healthy, I'm going to go do this 2 ways. If Stafford is healthy, it's the Rams, and they'll get in with probably 9 or 10 wins. The rest of that division will be between 6 and 8, maybe 9, if they're lucky. That's the division out. If Stafford's out, it'll still be 9 wins to win the division. The only team that'll make the playoffs, and I'll take Arizona. Honestly, this is a bad division. We did pick a bad division. We got some comments you might want to delete too. But this is a bad division. One team's going to get to the playoffs out of it, and that's it. They're not competitive against the NFC North. They're not competitive against the NFC East. They'll be competitive against the NFC South because, well, the South sucks just as bad as the West. They too only have one good team in it, and that's the way this one will roll down.
Oh, single dance club. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Jeremy?
He mentioned the fact that the Vikings, he calls them the Vi-Queens, that they're actually Vi-Queens because they're going to have men as their cheerleaders.
I guess Lizzo was right. Lizzo was right. There's no man on the Minnesota Vikings unless it's their cheerleaders.
Well, anyways, so AB, Antonio Brown, AB84 on Twitter, posted a picture of Michelle Obama in a Vikings uniform saying they just hired their man.
Michelle Obama. We're so happy.
But anyway, the NFC West, if Stafford's healthy, it's Rams.
He probably throws the ball. He probably throws the ball better than freaking JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, I hear you. But anyways, if Stafford's healthy, it's Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals, 49ers. If not, it's all up in the air. But I think the Seahawks get it, Cardinals in second, Rams third, and 49ers fourth because they're that bad. Brock Purdy looks awful without Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel. And Christian McCaffrey's out 6 weeks already, and they just lost Brandon Ayuk. They're in trouble.
And the Super Bowl's in San Fran, of course, they're not going to pull what the Rams and the Bucks did. It's going to keep tradition.
Yeah.
The team who hosted it's going to be one of the worst teams in the league.
Ayuk's going to be the number 1 receiver. You're right about that. That's
starting week 7.
Yeah, he doesn't start till week 7. He's out until week 7 right now.
So when they're 0-5 or 0-6.
defense may not be horrible. May not be horrible. I'm sorry.
I just got them 0-6. I have them starting 0-6, by the way.
The 49ers?
Yeah.
I've got Arizona winning the division with 9.
It's because you got Robert
The Rams second with 8.
Defensive coordinator.
The Rams second with 8. Seattle third with 8. And San Francisco with 5 in the cellar. I think this is the worst division in football.
Worse than the
and I
NFC
think
South?
9 wins it.
No,
I
not
think the
worse.
NFC. I think 9 games wins this division.
What's the single dads club talking about?
The deal that they did with
Dylan Mulvaney.
the rainbow cans and all that kind of stuff.
Dylan
That's what he's
Mulvaney.
talking about. Yeah.
When Tim Waltz said we'll give you money for the new stadium, that was a clause in the contract they didn't realize they had to fulfill till this year.
And then Aerosmith has to sing, "Dude looks like a lady." They should do.
So now that
we
we finished that one,
the Vikings make it.
What
They should
the-
do. Dude
no.
looks like a lady.
This is not a
What's
Viking
next,
ship.
Rich?
This is not a Viking ship anymore. Holy.
What's
crap.
next, Rich?
So- anyways, we got the AFC South. So let's go ahead and kick things off with the team that had the #1 draft pick. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what he does. Let's talk about the Tennessee Titans and see what we think about them. Again, let's do our previews. We'll do our rankings at the end. And let's go ahead and do this, starting with Tennessee. Joe.
Tough call here. I think they're going to be improved, but not enough improved. I could see them maybe winning 6 or 7 games.
Still better than 3 or 14 last year.
That's an improvement, though, right?
It is.
Especially with
It's
a rookie
step up
quarterback.
again. They're not going to be gangbusters, but 6 or 7 games I could see them winning.
Gotcha. Rav?
Tempted to take them second in the division because I really like Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward is, to me, easy the best quarterback in the draft. I think going forward, I think he's going to be really good. I don't think they have enough this year to do much, though, in terms of that. Van Jefferson, Tyler Lockett, that's not going to work. Their defense last year really regressed. I mean, they have some players. I think probably third in a very weak division, although I do like I like where they're going next year. I think the following season, I think we could be talking about the best team in the division if they can fix this, what they got going.
Hoss, where you at on the Titans?
Well, they'll be a little bit better than what they were last year. They'll get a couple of more wins, but I think they're kind of still in the rebuilding mode like we are. They got their quarterback, but I feel like they're still missing some pieces, and it's going to take a couple of years before – ooh, nice catch. It's going to take them a couple of years before they get to where they need to be. Sorry, I'm watching the Astros and the Tigers, and they caught a big-ass pop fly. I put it in the bottom of the ninth, and it's still scoreless. So I wonder if Jeremy's watching. I wonder if Jeremy's watching that game too.
Which one?
Astros and the Tigers.
I've been checking the score. That's about it.
Trevor Trammell caught a pop fly, and he landed right on his back on the warning track, and he hurt himself. And now they're going in the bottom of the ninth. Like he jumped in there and caught it and fell flat on his back.
Online, I got it. It's the top of the 10th here because I'm just doing the Camecast. But it's the top of the 10th already.
Adam, what do you think about the Titans, man?
I am not feeling the Titans at all this year. I think they're in massive rebuilding still. They got the quarterback, but they still have a lot of questions.
You were right, Jeremy. I mean, yeah, you were right. It was the bottom of the ninth.
I know I'm right, Mark.
Into the 10th. I'm not talking. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Jeremy.
Oh.
Bottom of the ninth.
Jamie.
I'm intrigued what Tennessee's doing. I think they're going about year 2 of their rebuild the right way, just like they did last year. Even though, getting rid of, you could question them getting rid of Derrick Henry, but that was the right thing they had to do. I mean, they were 6-11. Henry wanted to go to the Ravens, which he did, and He wants to obviously, be on a team that is winning, and you don't want to keep a player on a team like the Titans if they don't want to be there, especially if they're heading in a rebuild. But the one thing they were able to do when they got rid of Henry was they were able to build. I think they were able to build a young offensive line that I think if J.C. Latham stayed healthy, I think their young O-line is going to get better. But that was the smart thing they did, because now when they drafted Cam Ward, at least he's coming in. It's like we're at least going to surround him with an offensive line that we can mold and develop, so it makes his development quicker than it would be if he didn't have an offensive line. And I think Cam Ward got screwed over by the Madden nerds. A 72. I disagree with that. But I think Cam Ward's going to have a really good rookie year, but the record's not going to show it, I think, until year 2 or 3 under him. So I see them winning 5 to 7 games with a big improvement from 3-14. But they could take a positive step knowing that Cam Ward is going to be their guy, because he puts up a good individual rookie year that sets them up.
Ken, where you at on Tennessee, man?
So, yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of a different track. Number 1 defense through week 8 last year. If it wasn't for their quarterback issues last year, they might have won a bunch more games in the first 8. Like the Bears, we were gifted that game on a pick 6. They had the number 1 defense through 8. It's not a rebuild. They have a legit defense. They had a legit quarterback issue. And, okay, Miami hasn't really done much in terms of quarterbacks in the last, decade or 2. But if this kid is legit and can protect the football, then why can't he have a Stroud year? Right? I mean, people act every year like, oh, no one can have a rookie year like Stroud had a couple years ago. Why not? This kid could, and he's got good enough defense to help him do it. They're a very intriguing team. I don't think they're going to be in a dumpster in the AFC South. I think that's going to belong to another team. I think they're competitive. This is a very interesting division. There are 2 teams that are big question marks, and 1 team I think is oversold. They could compete for the division. It all just depends on, does Cam Ward give them, does he go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out and give them turnovers? Or does he, go 6, 7, 8 plays and a punt versus a turnover, and they play field position game? If this team is able to play the field position game, they'll win a lot of close games because they have a very stout defense. I have them probably, they're another dark horse team I think is going to ascend. Are they going to win the division? Probably not, but they're going to be a team that you're not going to want to play in that division come the end of the year.
Jeremy, what do you think about the Titans, man?
I think they're a 7 or 8 win team. I don't think they're any better than that. They're playing a last place schedule for a reason, because they were that bad last year. And like Ken said, they were a quarterback away from winning 7 of their losses last year. So if you think about that, and that's just 1 less turnover and 2 more first downs in those games. That's all it was. There was only like 6 games that they didn't have a shot in, one of them being the Lions. I mean, we housed them, but that's a whole other story. But if they'd had Cam Ward, it wouldn't have been that bad, because they at least could have got a couple first downs. We might have only beat them by 20.
Well, and the thing is, with that, JB, and sorry to cut in there, but as they get further in that season, that defense got wore the hell down.
Right.
The fact that they were the number 1 defense in the league until they hit the Lions, when the wheels just fell off and they're like, dude, we're gassed, was a testimonial to how good that defense really is.
That defense prior to that was the number 1 defense, I think, for 6 out of the 8 weeks in a row. Yep. I think after week 3, they were the number 1 defense. And yet they had the lowest time of possession average for an offense, which means the defense was on the field the most.
Yep.
So to be that talented and not have the disparity that you do, because we all talk about balance in the NFL and the parity of the NFL and how there's so much balance. But if you don't have that balance where your defense is resting just as much as your offense, that's a problem.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a team where the defense will keep them in games. It's just a matter of how many rookie mistakes take them out of games. Cam Ward is a good ball player. I think he's going to be a successful quarterback. You got to put some better tools around him, though. I agree with I think it was Rav or Joe that said the receiving core is just horrific. When Tyler Lockett is your best receiver, you've got some issues. So, they've got to do some things with that. I'm not a big fan of the running game either. I'm not a big fan of Tony Pollard or Spears being the guy. They've got to do some work on that offense, but you can't build. They didn't build Rome in a day. So this time next year when they've got another top 10 pick, they keep building. I see them as better than last year, not good by any stretch, but still better than last year. He's not here.
Anyone know? Hold on.
Let's talk about him.
Hold on. What is the Commanders want for Terry McLaurin?
A lot.
They want. Last I saw, they want at least a 1 and a starting player.
Because the Steelers rejected a trade they sent them today. I don't know why. I didn't see it. All right.
Yeah, I didn't see what the trade was, but I saw the Steelers rejected it. But they want a 1 and a starting player. Starting offensive player, I think it is.
So they probably wanted Debo. I mean, who's the other one you got? Is it Debo that you guys got, or is it the other one?
We got DK. We got DK Metcalf.
They probably wanted DK Metcalf in the first. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Or Hayward. No, Hayward.
If they wanted Connor Hayward, they're not getting him.
Yeah.
If they wanted Connor Hayward, he's not going anywhere.
No, I don't think you're going to get a starter in a trade package at this point.
What? You wouldn't trade Connor Hayward in a first for Terry McLaurin?
No, he said no.
No.
You mean Cam Hayward?
Pay him $30 million.
Yeah, Cam Hayward.
Wait. Are you talking about his brother? Are you talking about that tight? Or are you talking about the offensive player?
Josh, they're not going to. They haven't said they want Cam. They want his brother. They want Connor. They don't want Cam.
Oh, I thought you meant
They brought
Cam.
that up a long time ago.
What's wrong with that?
They would love to have Connor Hayward. And no. And you're right, Adam. No, I wouldn't give him up. No.
When we do the NFC East, that's going to be an interesting show because of what's going to happen with this whole issue where they've got with Scary Terry. If they can trade him or not, that's going to really be an interesting show when we do that. And the three big guys, and we talk about on the morning show quite a bit. Scary Terry, the situation, Trey Hendrickson, and of course, what's his name down in Dallas. All three of those Parsons. Thank you. I was brain farting. Those three guys. Look, what happens between now and week 1 is going to shift those entire divisions. And it's funny that the NFC East is going to be the most affected by all of it. It could affect the league.
Yeah, because if Micah Parsons lands on the right team, it could affect the entire league.
Well, let's say Scary Terry, goes to the Titans in a trade. That changes what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
I would give up Connor Hayward for Terry McLaurin. Are you not we already have 3 tight ends on this team. Why do we need to keep Connor Hayward?
I'm not giving up a 1. If I got to pay him $30 million plus, I'm not giving up a 1.
Okay,
yeah, that's a fair point. That's a
fair point. But you're talking about Connor Hayward. I'm not doing it for Connor Hayward. What are you talking about?
No, but Connor Hayward in a 2 maybe, because even Trey Hendrickson, the feel in the league right now. I guess we're diverging a little bit. The feel in the league right now, it's a 2 and a player, not a 1 anymore. Because of where we're at.
If you're trying to get Cam Hayward happy, you're not trading his brother. That's the dumbest thing.
Now we got to keep people happy instead of the fans happy. Great.
Yep.
Connor, that's the Mike
legendary
speech.
defensive lineman you have.
Great Tomlin speech.
You do.
Friendly coach. Keep them happy instead of winning.
Oh, I love how we did
Hall
this.
of Fame. You got 53 spots on that roster. Find another tight end. Trade
Right. You can get rid of Connor Hayward.
It doesn't matter. Aaron will try to throw the ball and get intercepted anyway, so it doesn't make a difference.
We didn't even get to that point.
No, I'm not, but that's not no.
We got to keep Cam Hayward happy.
Next week could be a very interesting show, depending on what happens with those 3 guys that are looking for deals.
Oh my gosh.
I would really, honest to God, hate to see Adam in a GM spot.
Do what?
I would hate to see you in a general manager spot. If the coach doesn't win in 2 years, he's fired. If he wins 18
Coach hasn't
years
won
in
in
a
9
row,
years.
he's not
Rich,
any
he needs
good.
to be fired.
I knew that was coming. I knew that. Every time you bring Tomlin up, he says that every
Let's
time.
keep Tomlin. He's awesome.
I seen that one.
Because I have as many Super Bowls as he has in the last 7, 8 years. Jesus Christ.
And the one, yeah, but here's the thing, Rich. You know what?
I know he won with Cowher's team, Cowher's coaching staff, and then when
Exactly.
Cowher's
He
coaching staff
inherited
left
that
after the Green
Super
Bay
Bowl.
loss.
That
We
was
haven't
all
done shit
Cowher's
since.
team, Rich.
We haven't done shit since all the coaching
What
staff left
happens
from
when
Cowher.
you make a DEI hire?
How many of, let's see.
I don't care.
About
Bring
half
someone
the
else in. I
league.
don't care.
Did he
Yeah,
just
man,
say
you
a
leave me
DEI?
out of this. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
Did he just say a DEI hire? Oh my goodness!
If
Jamie, I ain't got nothing to do with this, man.
Record. Sit at home and
If-
play
I
with
know you
yourself.
don't rap.
here's what I can guarantee you, Adam. If when the season ends this year, if they fire Tomlin, he
Which
will
they
have
should.
at least 10 teams lining up at his door to call him for a job.
Oh,
The
for
head
sure.
coaching
Who
job.
cares?
For sure.
They should fire him.
But we're going to have a line around Heinz Field waiting for people to coach.
Bring it. Let Brian Flores coach. Interview Brian Flores. He would be good in Pittsburgh.
Hey, guys, we still have a season to get through.
Yeah, we still got
I
3 more
understand
teams to
this.
go.
I know. I'm serious.
My biggest
I ain't
thing
pushing. I
is,
think Brian Flores would be great in Pittsburgh.
well, but if you guys have ever heard us talk about this, Adam would go 3-14 for 9 years, win the Super Bowl, the 10th one, and be happy.
Sounds like Bill Cowher.
Okay.
Huh?
He's not a Packers fan. I get it. The Packers will do the inverse. The Packers want to do the inverse. They want to go to playoffs for 10 years and not win a Super Bowl, but then claim they're the best team in football. So I get it.
I agree with Adam. I agree with
All I know
that.
is
I
That
get it.
I would
kick rocks with
rather
knocking on
be-
the door 15 times.
I would be a winning team. I would rather be a winning team
Oh, gosh.
every year than be a trash team and win one championship every 10
Quit
years.
defending Tomlin now, dude. I did the same thing, and now I
Wouldn't it-
see Adam's point of view.
Wouldn't it be interesting, because while we're talking about the AFC South, if the Titans
Go to
did put a
Indianapolis,
package
go to the
together.
Jaguars. Fucking recover that team.
Hold on. What if the
Oh.
Titans, who are in the past have done the big trade, put together a package for McLaurin? How does that change? Does that change your guys' outlook? Some of you guys don't know if it's good of an outlook on the Titans as maybe I do. Like, if they could put a package, look, it makes sense for Washington, if they're going to trade them, to do it out of the NFC to go to the AFC. The Titans would be a perfect place for them to go. They got a good young quarterback, a stud defense, and the biggest complaint I've heard from you guys on the Titans, the guys who think they're not going to be good this year, is, well, they doesn't have weapons. Well, adding Scary Terry definitely gives them a weapon.
It does.
Still not enough this year in the AFC to go ahead and go farther than they need to go. They'll be better for sure, and I think they are going in the right direction.
Wait, you're
It
talking about a division where the division winner only had 10 wins, and they were lucky to
Right.
get that.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I think you'd get another.
Where were
win
we?
or two.
I apologize for my comments. I'm sorry. I want to move
No,
on.
that's okay, Jamie.
You're
I brought us back to the
You're
AFC
good, man.
South. The AFC
I
South.
don't. I can't stand them. I can't stand them as a coach. I'm so tired of it. It's so
Well, I mean,
stale.
if the Titans could pull a deal off like that and give up maybe a first and I don't
Yeah,
know,
but
kind
they
of
don't have a-
they want so
They don't
bad.
have a starter to trade.
Well, they
They have a
might. I mean,
lineman they can dump?
it depends what they're
Maybe
looking for.
Mizey, maybe maybe
What about offensive linemen?
maybe Trevon Burks.
They got depth at O line. They got some depth.
They got a line they could trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they sound like they want a wide receiver. They sound like they want someone. Maybe Trevon Burks, but I mean, it would take more than Trevon Burks at first.
Ridley, you got to give up.
You'd have to give up Ridley, yeah.
But look, it really
That might
depends,
do it.
though, too. The longer this drags out, the advantage to the team trading for him, right? because like you're desperate now to get rid of them. So you're gonna, this is what you're gonna take. They don't want to see Scary Terry in the NFC. They don't want him going to an NFC team that they're going to see during the regular season or in the playoffs. So an AFC destination makes complete sense. So look at what's tied into what we're talking about right now with the AFC South. The Titans have a phenomenal defense, a young franchise quarterback of the future. If they think Scary Terry can be their guy for the next 3 years, and that puts them maybe a running back or another wide receiver away, pull the trigger and set yourself up to maybe be competitive or win this division, which is pretty weak this year, and then keep adding to it in free agency.
Either that or a team we talked about last week. What about the Chargers?
Or the Chargers. Yeah, they're interesting. They could be an interesting destination as well.
Justin Herbert to Terry McLaurin sounds pretty interesting.
And Keenan Allen, that's a nice little setup.
Now, all they'd have to do is trade him Najee Harris. That way his eye is closer to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. But I mean, the Titans, but look at, even if the Titans pick up and make a trade for Scary Terry, I mean, now they're not going to be 3-and-out every series, and they're going to give that parity that JB was talking about for that defense.
What's that whole Najee Harris pirate thing about anyway? How did that start?
And if that defense gets rest and doesn't wear out as quickly, I think they're in games, and this division's not that good.
I don't know what the accident was, but he literally popped an eye out of his head this offseason. Najee Harris.
I think it was a fireworks deal.
Was it fireworks? Okay.
Yeah,
Either way,
yeah.
He lost an eye, and I said, "Yeah, he's just keeping an eye out for Pittsburgh to make the playoffs and not win."
But anyway, we were going to the team that
losing an eye. But go ahead, Rich.
It's a shame their guy's not here. But let's talk about Prince Trevor and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That guy ain't no fucking Prince.
Sunshine Jones. Sunshine Jones.
Adam, who you got? What do you think about Jacksonville, man?
He does look like Sunshine from.
I think if Lawrence sucks ass like I plan on him doing again this year, I think he's going to be on the hot seat and possibly moved.
You think a change of
he's
scenery?
got some weapons, but I mean, what if that defense is on the field forever and Travis Hunter is just dead on offense? I don't know. I'm just not a fan of these Jaguars. I mean, I do have them winning a couple more games than I thought, but that's just me.
Because of Leon Cohen.
Queen Trevor.
That's the whisper that's the elephant in the room. Leon Cohen's actually he's more of a quarterback whisperer for Trevor Lawrence than freaking Doug 3-and-out Peterson ever was.
Where's Dylan? Why ain't he here to protect his team?
Because he's out there taking a Schmidt somewhere.
Hoss, what do you think, buddy?
Wait, who?
You're on mute.
Oh. Which I should be on.
I was
Go
playing.
ahead.
I figured the hype with having Travis Hunter on the team was going to change things around and have them maybe a contender to win the division and be a playoff team, but we'll see what happens when the regular season comes. He only played one preseason game, and he played like shit. He didn't even play at all in the Saints game. But things could change. I mean, whenever the regular season comes, I mean, we'll see, because I feel like with them and the Texans, it could be out of them two. But we'll see who wants it more out of those two.
Rav, where you at with this whole Trevor Lawrence bowl of fruits and nuts?
Lawrence, I think, is overrated. I think he's not fundamentally sound. He's got a lot of talent, but I'm not sure how good he's going to be. I'm still not sure. He's probably still, though, the second best quarterback as of right now in that division as well. I don't know why the defense is so lousy. That was the bigger problem. Like, they couldn't get – everybody was scoring 30 and 30 they were giving up a lot of points last week. So I really think that was wild as well. But some of that because their offense was so bad. Huh?
Their defense used to be loaded, Rav, when they had Khalil Mack and they had
personnel now.
Jalen Ramsey
and those guys.
Yeah, and that's just kind of, there you go. But I do think they're probably the second best team in this division. Travis Hunter, I just don't like him playing on both sides. I don't think that's just not a good idea. I don't think an NFL player I don't think that's gonna work. But they should score probably more than the other two teams.
I agree with you there. Joe, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the Jags are going to be better than people think. Now, I am not saying they're going to be good, but somebody had mentioned, of Trevor Lawrence being on the hot seat. Now, I think he's going to play like he is. Again, not saying he's going to be a great quarterback, but saying that he's probably the second best quarterback in that division, I think is accurate. I could see, it's a weak division. You guys were saying the NFC West is the worst division. I think this is. And I think the Jaguars could win 8 games and, be fighting for the division and ultimately not get it. But again, I'm not going to say they're good, but I'm going to say that they're better than people think. And I think Trevor Lawrence is going to play inspired. And, like I was saying about some other teams, this is another team that can win some games that we don't expect them to. So 7 or 8 wins for them.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie, what do you think of Jacksonville?
Well, Joe hit it right on the head. He thinks they could win more games and everything, and I do too. But you have to address why they could win more games and what the elephant in the room is. And I whispered it too. I said it's because they got Liam Cohen as head coach on. Like I said, people could say, who the heck is he and blah, blah, blah. And there's something. Look at this guy's track record of what he's been able to do. He was a McVay assistant, right? So he's a young up and coming guy. Doug, I mean, here's the problem with, they had a coach, Doug Peterson, he had the same program, and it happened with Philly. He comes out, does good right away, wears out his welcome in year 3, and that's what happened with Philly. What happened when Doug Peterson went to Jacksonville, right? Started out 9-8, wore out his welcome in year 3. And there's a reason, like I said, why Jacksonville fired him, and he doesn't have a job right now in the NFL, and Liam Cohen does. Because, like I said, he's a quarterback whisperer. Look at his track record, what he did with McVay, and look at what he did with Baker. And I think sometimes that can help a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence. Yes, he's overpaid and everything, but if you have a guy like that with a track record of being a quarterback whisperer and being able to develop quarterbacks, it could spark Lawrence. It's like what Harbaugh did with Alex Smith. Remember what happened with Alex Smith when he went through 5 different offensive coordinators and Harbaugh came in and Smith had that 13-3 season. You could have that with Trevor Lawrence because you're bringing in a younger guy like Cohen who's going to juice up that offense with this track record. And I think Jacksonville could be a 7-9 win team because their defense could be a work in progress, but just having Cohen as a coach could help Trevor Lawrence win a lot of games, even though he's overpaid. Having a QB whisperer like that. You saw with Dave Canales. What did he do with Bryce Young after he got benched? Exact same thing. So Young started playing better under him because he had that track record. And I think the same thing could happen with the Cohen-Lawrence pairing. Could be a good marriage. I think we'll see.
Ken, what do you think?
I got to do it. Duval! Sorry, I had to do it. For all my friends in Orange Park and Doctors Inlet and NAS Pensacola and NAS Bayport, your team is going to be, well, I don't know what the hell they are. Jacksonville is a weird team. They've got some weapons, right? They've got a plethora of offensive line. They've got protection. They've got a quarterback who's shown flashes. They get the quarterback whisper. If you believe in what Jamie just said, they're an interesting team. They could be really shitty, or they might be actually pretty good. I'm not mad at Travis Hunter playing both sides. I think eventually he'll play only one, but in the near term for this team, I think him playing both sides adds some excitement, adds a little pep to the step, adds a little extra motivation and oomph for the rest of the team. But I agree with Rav. I think at some point he goes to one side of the ball only. It probably just won't happen this year. And they're just a weird quagmire of a team. I mean, I really don't know what to think of them. They're either going to be really sucky, or they could win this division. That's the weird thing about Jacksonville. I say that, and I know JB's already shaking his head, and I say that because this division just sucks. It's not going to take much to win it. But I tend to agree with most of what everyone said. Right now, Trevor's way overpaid. Etienne's having health issues. He can't stay healthy, unfortunately. But they've got some good pieces. Unfortunately, I don't see it improving them too much. I think they might spoil someone's day towards the end of the season, but I don't think they're going to the playoffs or anything close to that.
Leon Cohen doesn't have that.
Jeremy, what do you think, man?
Go look at his stats. Career-wise, Trevor Lawrence is Daniel Jones on a worse roster. Same exact results, too. One win. That's it. And way overpaid. At least the Giants were smart enough to kick Daniel Jones to the curb. They were the only team that had a worse starting quarterback, Anthony Richardson. Jeez, it makes no sense. Travis Etienne can't stay healthy. Tank Bigsby was a scoring dynamo until that game they played against the Bears. Standing on the 1 yard line without one person next to him. And Trevor Lawrence looks right at him and goes, "Oh, I'm going to throw it to Trevor Etienne with 4 guys on him," and gets it intercepted. They're bummed. If they win more than 5 games, the rest of the division should be regulated to the CFL.
And JB, real quick, I agree with you, but the weird thing about Duval is if these guys catch lightning in a bottle, they could actually win this division. But the odds of the lightning in the bottle are about the same as me getting struck by lightning while I'm sitting in my man cave when there's no storms in the area. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm with you guys. I think Jacksonville's going to be bad. There definitely isn't a whole lot to look forward to with this team. Sorry, Dylan. But I'm anxious to see, do they catch lightning in a bottle? I doubt it. I think it's a shame because they do have an extremely talented wide receiver in Brian Thomas Jr. Who I think is a top 20 receiver in the league now in his second year. So that's where I'm at with them. You mentioned, Jeremy, so I'm gonna let you lead off. You mentioned the Indianapolis Colts, and it was announced today that their starting quarterback is going to be one Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes.
That's Daniel Lawrence.
Jeremy,
Sunshine Jones.
Started off, right, man.
Well, Danny Lawrence, the twin brother to Sunshine Jones with short hair and better athleticism, because that's what the stats say. So that's still better than Anthony Richardson. So they might win 2 more games, which means the Jaguars are still the bottom of the division and the Colts are right above them. So,
and what do you think? Is that all you had, or do you want to go more?
They don't really have a wide receiver room. What do they got? Michael Pittman and Alex Pierce.
Ooh, Josh Downs.
Josh Downs, yeah, a good slot receiver. I'm not high on Josh Downs because they have the quarterbacks they do. The best thing on their roster is Jonathan Taylor, and they run him into the ground so he gets broken for 4 games a year.
Yep. Everything JB said, except I'll add, I feel sorry for the Ursays, not only because they lost their dad this year, but they inherited this complete dumpster fire of a franchise. She's not good. The Ursay daughter that's leading the charge isn't going to fire everyone quite yet, but I expect her to clean the freaking house out at the end of the year. Richardson was the biggest sham job mistake they ever made in the draft. Everyone, when they draft him, why? Oh, but this combine, he looks so great. Yeah, anyone can look good in no pads with no pressure in a perfect atmosphere where they can just throw the ball 60 yards. Yeah, of course it looked good. The Colts, and they continually get rid of players when they're on the cusp of doing something. Not this year, it was Dio. They let Dio sign for a cheap contract with Chicago, and they're like, thank you for the edge rusher. I mean, if he pans out like Chicago thinks, that's just another guy. You know what the Colts are? They're the 1980s version of the Los Angeles Clippers. They bring in guys that get halfway decent or good, and then like, well, we're not even going to pay you $1. Go hit free agency. My son is like, deuces. This town sucks anyway.
Sounds like the AAA Pittsburgh Pirates.
The 80s version of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's what they are.
Yeah. I mean, this
Steve
team,
Young, baby.
if they don't have the number one pick, well, no, there's another team that might have the number one pick. Sorry, Hoss. They're gonna this. I mean, honestly, they just Irsay's whichever daughter it is, I can't remember her name, that's running the franchise. If she doesn't clear house at the end of this year, just sell the team. At this point, I mean, they I get it. Bad luck with Andrew Luck retiring when he did, and they've never recovered, and they've been searching ever since, and they've tried bringing in the old vet. They got snookered on a high draft pick. Welcome to my world. Really, they're a dumpster fire that keeps adding more gas to the fire.
Can I say something now, Ken?
Well, sure, Jamie. You might take this over.
Go, Jamie.
Yeah, this is. I can absolutely tell you why they drafted Richardson, and I can tell you what their thought was at the time.
Well, we know, Jamie. They got suckered.
Well, no. Who did Shane Steichen have with Philadelphia? Remember, who was his quarterback at Philadelphia?
Jalen Hurts. Right.
And so their thought was he wanted Anthony Richardson because he thought he was like their bigger, faster version of Jalen
Jamie,
Hurts.
This guy was projected to go in the second or third round. He was projected to go in the second or third round to the combine. Oh, by the way, which he was hurt afterwards.
He wanted
and then he went in the first round, and everyone in the NFL was like, "What are they smoking, taking Richardson this high?" And then lo and behold, he gets hurt, and it's what, first game, second game, he gets hurt, and he hasn't been healthy at all since.
Right.
Everyone knew this guy was a bad pick in the first round, but the Colts got suckered into it because he had a good combine.
Right, but like I said, Steichen wanted a bigger version of Jalen Hurts, and they thought that's what they were getting with Richardson. That's why.
Well, just another reason to clear house, because they were obviously clearly stupid. Because everyone knew this guy was an injury risk waiting to happen, that if the wind blew too hard, he might break a leg.
He might run 10 yards and run out of breath, too.
Yeah, I mean, probably one of the worst quarterback draftings in the last decade or two.
Wanted a bigger version.
Joe, what do you think, man?
You were saying they're the they're the version of the 80s Buccaneers. I think they're the 2025 version of the Arizona Cardinals who we were just talking about. I said, the Cardinals, they don't want to take that next step, it seems like. And the Colts are another one of those teams. It's like that you've had the tools, you've had the opportunities, and just refused to move ahead. And even a couple of weeks ago, I was thinking, you know what? This is maybe the year they put it together. They win 10 games, which could be good enough to win this division. And now, over the last couple of weeks, and especially with this quarterback decision, I've completely, retracted on that. And, you were talking about lightning striking in a bottle. And if that happens, maybe they can win 10 games. I think they can win 8 or 9, which is good enough to compete for this division. But I just think, I agree with some of the things you guys said. It's just they've made some bad decisions, and I think they're going to stay in that level of mediocrity until, hopefully, like you said, the sweeping changes are made.
Hey, Joe, you know what's funny? You know who the best quarterback has been since they've drafted Anthony Richardson?
Gardner Minshew.
Gardner, meet me down by the van near the river, Minshew.
Flacco didn't do that bad last year, though.
No, Minshew got him, 8, 9 wins?
Yeah,
Minshew had a better year.
Minshew's in Kansas City.
Yeah, but
right.
Joe, guess what the ironic thing is about both the Colts and the Cardinals? They both hired 2 really good coordinators from the Eagles, right? Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. Both of them could be really good head coaches, but they're both plagued by the same thing, bad decisions and and everything. So I thought I would throw that out there as a factoid.
You're right,
Because,
and I think
because
that's
you got Jonathan Gannon, right? He was the defensive coordinator for Philly, and he's with Arizona, and Steichen with the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both plagued by the same thing.
Rob, what do you
Good,
got?
Jeremy. Answer that question.
I already did. I put it in the chat.
Oh, I think the Colts are on the clock. This is the worst team in the league. Total train wreck. They've kind of fooled people because they have some good players at some positions. But I think Ballard's a complete fraud. Steichen is a poor guy. I think he's a decent coach, but he's not really a head coach. Their quarterback situation, Daniel Jones is terrible. No hope at all no hope at all. I'm shocked that anybody thinks that this team can win 8 or 9 games.
Do you ever consider the fact that the reason why Daniel Jones, though, wasn't very good with the Giants because his offensive line was bad? At least with the Colts, he has an offensive line.
Daniel Jones had no business being drafted that high. He was friends with the Mannings in the Manning camps, so the Giants liked him, and they took a shot. Nobody else was going to do that.
Right,
this guy's
and they
not
built
a
no
starter.
offensive line around him. He was on his back every 2 seconds. I watched those games.
And I got some breaking good news for Colts
He
fans.
never had an offensive
Luckily,
line.
it's being reported for Colts fans that luckily for you, it's a short drive to either Detroit or Chicago to watch real football teams.
But all in all, I think that this is actually a good year for the Colts to be bad because of the quarterback draft class
They
coming.
have another team to go watch just as close, because
Uh-huh.
if you go in the other or 2 more teams they could watch, you got the Bengals and the Titans.
Yeah, there you go.
And that might be better to watch than watching the Colts themselves. And I'm talking about the Titans.
I'm just glad to one thing real quick. I'm just glad to see that other people are seeing it because I've been saying it for years. They've been fraudulent. The Colts are just fraudulent.
The problem with the Colts is they always have a couple good pieces, right? But look at their history. I mean, okay, they got lucky with luck, right? That whole situation where they get luck after Peyton has a neck injury, right? And they're bad for 1 year. Luck is great. And now the Blue, I'm just going to retire. And from that point forward, if you look at what they've done, they've been like in quarterback search mode ever since. They've tried everything. Let's bring in Phillip Rivers. Let's bring in Matty Ice, some guys who are proven veterans. Okay, that didn't work. Let's bring in Gardner Minshew. Oh, wow, not a bad season, but we'll let him go to the Raiders and make more money because we got this Richardson kid. They've been searching, and they always have a couple decent players. And they've had some decent coordinators, and they've had decent defenses and decent offensive lines. But for them, they've been this like weird, I would say worse than what the Bears have had for the last few decades, quarterback search. Because at least the Bears, you had Cutler who did some good things. Even Trubisky got you to the playoffs a couple times. Justin Fields excited you, right, with the run and the plays he did himself. The Colts haven't had any of that. And then that's a problem.
And luck they still might have if they had a clue. He retired because of injury because he was getting the crap beat out of him because these guys don't know what they're doing.
Right, and then they go say, well, luck got killed. We need an offensive line for the next guy, but they can't find the next guy to save their life. And by the time they do, that offensive line will be kaput.
Maybe this tells you, though, this is finally the year to just totally be bad because the quarterback draft class coming up.
They've been bad for so many years.
It's right. It's perfect.
Jeremy,
it's perfect for them, though.
is Tesla still the surprise wide receiver on your team right now?
As of right now, I would say yes. But even though he's been showing out, I'd say he's the surprise because he's way better than everybody projected him to be.
I did, and I told you that from the beginning.
I'm not talking about us. Because you and I were on the same page right away,
Right.
remember, about Tesla? I'm talking about the draft pundit. No, it is not Nikolai.
Okay, getting back onto this thing.
Where are we at?
Haas, where are we at with the Colts, man?
Don't forget to
man.
unmute.
Well, let's just say, let me pause this for my battery dies. This bitch. Anyhow, let's just say that the Colts will be the second worst team in the AFC along with the Miami Dolphins. And
I still
what
think
else
the
can I
Jaguars are worse.
I finally got the game paused. All right. Again, they will be the second worst team in the AFC, along with the Miami Dolphins. This team got so much problems. I don't even want to go any further, but there is literally one person in the entire world who believes that they're going to be Super Bowl bound, and somebody please take the cocaine away from them. Pat McAfee, shut the fuck up.
Well,
He's
of course,
played
he's
for the
from
Colts, so
Indiana.
you
And
know.
he played for the
Nah,
Colts.
he's Steelers guy right now.
Yeah, because he knows the
But-
Colts are going to be dog shit.
Well, and he's also running buddies with Aaron Rodgers, and he's from Pittsburgh, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
So,
But played for West
Adam-
Virginia, so that's crazy.
he did.
That-
Adam,
that's
what do you
back
think of
on.
the Colts?
I like the Colts this year. I'm on a totally different fucking page than all
Oh
you
my
guys.
God.
Go to the tape.
Yeah.
Well, that's the second
I'm not
time
saying
you
that.
agreed with me.
Looking over their lineup, they don't really have they play all their same competition, so they should be able to beat them. I'm not saying they're going to the playoffs, but I'm saying they should be better than what you guys are thinking.
Mhm.
But they've been stuck in that mold for so many years, and it hasn't gotten anywhere. And like I said, this is a year where it's I think they should accept defeat, and they can go get one of the 5 quarterbacks next year that are being drafted. This is a perfect year for them not to do anything. Finally, same thing with the Dolphins.
We're pumped up about
Perfect
these
year to not
quarterbacks
do
already,
anything.
but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I think this team is going to be really bad. But it's just going to be a team that goes through the motions, I think. Now
They
we
created
go,
that
and
mess,
we'll
and they deserve that.
we're going to let Haas go last on this one. But I'll start this one. So it's going to be the Houston Texans. For me, I think CJ Stroud has a bounce back year. I think Will Anderson is a contender for defensive MVP. And I think that the return of Tank Dell is going to make a big difference. And don't be surprised if with the way they're going to use him, if Nick Chubb isn't a very valuable piece to this team as
love the
a
addition of Nick
complement
Chubb.
to Joe Mixon. So, Jeremy, what do you got?
Oh,
Yes, we have to let them have a team.
Houston Texans will win the division by accident, anywhere from 9 to 11 wins. I'm just saying they are that much more talented than everybody else in the division, and it isn't even close.
Jen, you want to echo that one and just move along?
Hey, they win the division by default, but I'll say this: I think they are a little overrated as well, though. But they'll still win it by default because no one else in this division is any good, really. But the Titans might push them, so it'll be interesting. But they probably win the division by default. But honestly, I think Stroud's a bit overrated. I think he just had a good rookie year, and that was great. But I don't know. I think that was magic in a bottle they captured that rookie year with the rookie head coach and rookie quarterback and Tank Dell and all these. They kind of caught lightning in the bottle. And I think I think the reason they get so much great press and they get so many people say, "Oh, they're going to win the division," is because that whole division sucks so bad. They probably just win it by default, or not because they're any good, just because we have to let the AFC South have a division champ.
Joe?
Well, you were talking about the echo and the bounce off of that idea. I agree with everything that was just said. They're a good team. They're not one of the better teams in the AFC. They win the division by default by winning 9 or 10 games. That's how I see it.
Five.
I just keep waiting for the Texans to go into that upper echelon, and I don't know why it keeps not happening. They have a good quarterback. Stroud was good last year. He wasn't as good as maybe his rookie. He kind of started slow, but he was good at home. I think the defense is really, really good, especially their edges. Will Anderson, I think, is really good. But then now you get rid of Tunzel, and your line is really bad. That's the only thing. But I think they're pretty good. They're pretty good. I mean, this is a 10-11 win team as well. Certainly in this awful division, they shouldn't have any problem winning all the division games at the very least.
They can kick long field goals. We know that.
I want to echo that statement that Rav just made, because last year everybody blamed it on a sophomore slump, but he was the second most sacked quarterback in the league, and that was with Laramie Tunstall. With Laramie Tunstall playing. So now he's not, which means both sides of the line got worse.
And look, at the only reason they beat a terrible offensive Bears team at that point in the season when they beat the Bears was they were able to kick 3 field goals from 55 yards or more, whereas the Bears were up to punt. That was the difference in that Bears game early in the year. And the Bears, as we all know, ended up not being that good last year. The Texans might be, I'm not going to say the best, but they're not as good as what people think they are. Let me just end it with that.
They're just in a bad division. If they were in any other division, they'd be mediocre.
Yep. At best.
I mean, Christian Harris, is he going to be healthy? Is Cam Robinson just came back? Nick Chubb, he's probably going to be a force. And CJ Stroud, I believe he's going to rebound. I mean, obviously, we all in agreement here that this team's going to win the South. By how many games? I'm not sure, but we'll find out in our next round of conversation.
At least one.
Jamie, are you there?
He had to mute because he was
going once, going twice.
Oh.
Haas, talk to us about your Texans, man.
Oh. What do you guys want to talk about? I'm joking. All right, so let Jamie go so I can pause this.
All right, I
just put the Texans real quick, man.
Okay, I already said the Colts were going to be 3-14 or 2-15. Like I said, perfect year for them to finally be bad because they're in a situation that they created on their own. But you know who's in a good situation that created on their own? The Texans, and here's why. Number one, they have the same advantage as the AFC East. Puke division, really. Okay? Number two, CJ Stroud and proud. He's always going to give you a chance to win. As long as his O-line. It's going to be interesting, though, to see what their O-line does without Laramie, Cheech, and Chong Tunzel. And I call him Cheech and Chong because his draft video of him smoking that bong. But anyway, the guy likes weed. It's okay. Anyway, Cheech and Chong Tunzel, he'll do well with the Commanders, which we'll get into. But I think Houston's gonna. They also traded John Mechie too, so we'll see how they do without him. Or as I call him, Big Mechie Ho. Anyway, I think the Texans are gonna be as good as they want to be. They're kind of in their third year of like wanting to. The last 2 years they've kind of been trying to gain experience, but I think the more they get into the playoffs and the more they get playoff experience with this team, I think it's going to eventually come. So I see the Texans winning, I think, 10 to 12 games. And they win the division.
Jeremy a question real quick before
Marcus
goes.
Sure.
Yes. Jeremy, what do you feel about them retiring Fedorov jersey?
Congratulations to him. I heard it's because he's going into the Hall of Fame this year. So congratulations, Fedorov.
Absolutely. I loved watching him play, man. That was fun. Woo. Anyway, go ahead, Mark.
All right. Well, at first, before we started all this idea of predicting the divisions and whatnot, I figured even though, yes, I will admit, the AFC South probably is the worst division in the AFC. Like the NFC South, or maybe, I don't know, maybe the NFC West. I digress. But at first, I figured Jacksonville was going to sneak in and probably win it. But now thinking back, and y'all all agree the Texans can win it all, I think I'm going to jump on that bandwagon too and say, you know what? They're going to win 3. They're going to 3-peat in the division. Now, I'm not, I hate Ohio State as much as I hate like Alabama and shit. And when I heard they got CJ Stroud, I said, oh, it's going to take a lot for this guy to earn his trust, relying on an Ohio State Buckeye. But then when you have to get targets, like a guy from your arch rival, like Cook, like Nico Collins, maybe they could work as a team together. You got Nick Chubb, that's a win. Joe Mixon, whoever's going to be the starting running back, that's a win. You got an outstanding defense with Derek Stingley fucking Jr. on there. Go Tigers. That's a win right there. Houston going to make some noise. I'm hoping we can have some type of playoff run. I don't see them getting to the AFC Championship, but shit can happen these days. But I'm hoping they at least have some type of playoff run. Get them at least where I could have them as an honorable mention, because in my top 3 right now, they're not in my top 3 to win the AFC, but I wouldn't mind having them as an honorable mention if they can play right, because, when the spotlight's on them, they know how to fuck up.
No.
Well, so now it comes to the obvious portion of our program, at least the top part of it. Okay, we'll start with Adam. Your predictions for the AFC South, 1st through 4th.
I have Houston with 11, Colts with 7, Jags with 4, and Tennessee with 3.
Wow.
Another number one pick for Tennessee.
I know. Another
number one overall pick.
Calling.
Another number one overall pick for them there, Mr. Adam?
I don't know. We didn't finish their whole season yet.
Dang. We'll save Haas for last. I got Houston at 11, Jacksonville with 8, Tennessee with 6, and Indy with 5. Jeremy?
I got Houston with 10. I got, much as I hate to say it, the best team that I like other than them is Tennessee, and I got them at 7. Then I got Indy at 6, and the poor Titans at 4.
Did you say that? Did you say that loud and bold on purpose? Because I have them sucking ass.
All right, the Jaguars at 4. Sorry, I got Jags in last because they're that awful.
Shit.
There you go, Dylan. I got your back. I got your Jags taking a big Schmidt for you.
You're up, Ken.
I got the Texans at 9 or 10. I have the Titans at 8. I then have, for whatever reason, the lesser of the two Danny Dimes, or the better of the two Danny Dimes, is the Sunshine Guy and Dewball. So I'll go with the Jags in 3rd, winning 4 games, and I'll go with the Colts winning 2.
Wow.
Oof. Jamie?
Houston, 11-6. Tennessee, 10-7.
To Tennessee.
Yep. Tennessee, 10-7. Jacksonville. Hey, let's go. Doug Peterson's favorite record. His first 2 years with the Jags, 9-8, in Leon Cohen's first year. Why not? And then the Colts.
Has anyone actually looked over the schedules?
The Colts, I'm going to say,
Me.
3-14 or 2-15. Number one overall.
Joe Dallio, what do you got?
All right, I'm going to go against the grain here. Now, I'm picking both Houston and the team you're all bashing here, the Colts, to both win 9 games. I think Houston takes the division with tiebreakers. 9 games is not good enough for the Colts to make the playoffs. I think they're going to be better than people think. I think the Jaguars win 8, and I think the Titans win 7. So I don't think it's going to be – I don't think you're going to have any real horrible teams with horrible records in this division, but no great records either.
You realize this team plays this division plays the other set of division we just talked about tonight, right? And all have them winning 8 games.
That's what I'm going with.
Rav, what do you got, man?
All right, so I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right.
You're good.
So we got 11. I think the Texans easily get 11 wins in this division. I think the Jags get to 7, maybe 8 games. Tennessee gets 6. They might get to 7, but I think 6. Colts, I'm not gonna say 2, but 4. I'm gonna be nice.
I figured you were gonna go 1.
That's probably a little bit better, Rob.
I don't. It's hard to. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
I was just trying to make a point with an explanation. You know, they suck. But yeah, you're probably right. 4 is probably a better number.
And let's wrap it up with Haas. What do you got, man?
Well, I'm going to make a change here because I did have the Jags and the Texans with the same record, but with Houston winning it. But I'm going to change it. I'm going to put the Texans at 10-7, winning the division. Jags runner-up at 9-8. So, yeah, I had both of them at 9-8, but you know what? I'm going to have Houston sweeping Jacksonville instead of splitting it. So, and plus Dylan ain't here to chew me out about that.
He's watching somewhere.
Ooh. Texans win the division at 10-7. Jags second at 9-8. Titans at 6-11, and the Colts last at 4-13. And hear me out before I say this. I have Colts winning their first game, whoever they're playing. And let me tally this. Let me double count this real quick. I have them losing 12 straight till they get to their next win. And one more thing, and act shockingly, both teams I'm covering are playing Buffalo. And Joe, I realize you're a Bills fan too, so I'll bring one of y'all on a show the week the Saints play the Bills, and I'll bring the other the week the Texans play them. So you and Jamie talk about it. Whatever week y'all want to come on, I'll bring both y'all on one at a time because luckily both my teams are playing the Bills this year. And
All right,
we're going to probably lose. We're probably going to lose both of them.
Don't mute my mic. I had to tell him I'm not coming on because I'm going to the game.
Wednesday night show.
Okay.
Well, we got a very interesting setup there for our 2 divisions that we did tonight in the NFC West and the AFC South. Next week, when we do our division previews, it'll be the AFC West, which I think will be an intriguing setup, and the NFC East. And we'll see if this Scary Terry trade or the Micah Parsons deal happens between now and then to really put this thing in an uproar. But AFC West and NFC East next week right here on Open Mic Night. Guys, I got to hit the high road running. I don't know if you guys want to stick around and talk a little bit, but I got to hit the high road.
No, I'm going to head out too.
Okay, then let's go around the
We're
table.
doing NFC
Get a hold
East.
of you. NFC East, AFC West.
Got it jotted.
Okay, let's start with Joe and work around the table. How do folks get a hold of you, Joe?
All right, Joe Dell Sports on Twitter X, and then next Tuesday night, Jamie and I start our Bill show
Nice.
as well. So we're looking forward to that.
Bill, what was that show called
Very
again? What was that show called again?
Buffalo
The
Sports
Buffalo Sports Conversation Room.
Yeah.
Buffalo Sports
right.
Conversation Room.
We got to make sure we get.
And
I thought it was like Bill's Mafia or something.
Will there
had
be
to
jumping
change
through
that.
tables?
Why?
Will people be jumping through tables? Will there be flaming shots? I mean, I want to get my level of excitement up here.
Yeah, if anybody's going to be jumping through tables, it ain't going to be me. So we'll see what we could do about that.
I only asked because I thought
Jeremy,
Jamie
you're
had
getting
a Bill
questioned,
show
buddy.
or something like Bill's Mafia within the
No.
name. No.
Right now, our nose tackles, which if you're talking about the interior, is DJ Reader and Tyleek Williams. And DJ Reader has plenty of experience. Tyleek Williams is the rookie we drafted in the first round.
Are you
And
running a
that's only-
4-3 or 3-4?
We are running a 4-3/3-4. So when it is a 3-4, you will see DJ Reader up front because he's played the nose tackle already with
Yeah.
experience. So I think DJ Reader will be the main guy in the 3-man front, and in the 4-man front, it'll be the two of them until Aleem McNeil comes back. And then you don't know what's going to happen, because if Aleem can return before the trade deadline, that might make DJ Reader obsolete on this roster with a rookie tackle if he's doing well.
All right. Where are we at?
Ken, how's everybody get a hold of you?
Yeah, so at Ken Bearfan on X, where you can catch me every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Central, 11 on East for Ken and Ken in the morning. Tomorrow is a busy day because we got the morning show. Then at 7 p.m. Central, we have the Bears show, Hallis Hall Report, followed by JB's show, the Roundtable. You'll see myself and Jamie and JB stinking up the place probably with our faces for radio. And then on Sundays for pregame at 11 a.m. Central, noon on the East, another Bears show, another edition of Hallis Hall Report. You can catch all that at Ken the Bear Fan on X, Ken the Bear Fan on YouTube, at the Huddle Sports Network on Facebook, Huddle Sports Network on YouTube, and the Huddle Sports Network on your Roku or Fire Stick devices, your Fire TVs. For that, go on your Fire Stick, your Roku, search for an app called Huddle Sports app, and you can catch us live, all our shows live, plus the library. Have I forgotten anything? Oh, yeah, and on Chicago Bears News on Facebook now as well. Oh, and
all right.
Yeah, and he'll get the rest. So go ahead, JB.
All right. Well, you can find me on my channel, which is Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions. You can find me on Twitter at Smoking Jeremy B. You can find me here every Tuesday night on Driving to the Top Productions, right here on the open mic, whenever I can be here. But you can find me every day at noon Eastern, 11 Central, on the Huddle Sports Network, my network, which is Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions on YouTube, or on the Amazon and Roku app, the Huddle Sports Network.
And you can catch all of JB's shows on my X page as well. So,
yeah, I was going to say, you need to share that more so we can get it out there. Ken, put it in the Huddle group.
Yeah,
all the shows, you know, so we can all share them. Everyone needs to post in there so we can share them all.
Yep.
Yeah.
I share 10 shit every day.
Yeah, you do, Hoss. I appreciate it.
And every so often, if I see Jeremy's is up, I share it too.
I saw that. Thank you, Hoss.
Yeah. Rav.
Go to Rav, man.
All right. This week on the Ravery Sports podcast, you can just put Ravery Sports on YouTube, Twitter, and all the social media platforms. 53-man roster, the final 53-man roster predictions for the Ravens. Top 10 cornerbacks in the NFL. So we're going to go over that. The NBA schedule is now out. We're going to talk about that, where you can find the games. There's a lot of new channels with that. Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, the last of our minor league teams. We're going to go over in this week's Orioles report, celebrating 700 Twitter followers on Ravery Sports. So definitely check it out.
Jamie, are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm back. Hello.
How do folks get
watch
you?
Out, buddy.
How do folks get you, man?
Lights out, meatball. Anyway, oops. Hold on. I kicked my camera there. Hold on. There we go. Here we go. Anyway, you guys can follow me, yours truly, at Bill's Chat 1, at Bill's Mafia Chat, and also at Jamie Malloy, the unbiased journalist, at DJ Dog Tags on X. You also can, starting next week, you guys can follow me and Joe Dalio and I, as we will be kicking off the season 3 premiere of the Buffalo Sports Conversation Room. It's finally back to NFL season, and nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills, as our buddy Chris Berman always said. Anyway, love you, Boomer, if you're listening to this. Would be awesome if you were. But anyway, so you could catch that episode starting at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time on YouTube and Driving to the Top Productions. And then you also see me here on Driving to the Top Productions and on YouTube 9 o'clock p.m. Next Tuesday for Open Sports Mic with Ken, Jeremy, Joe, Adam, and the guys. And then tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time, you could catch me, Jeremy, and Ken, and all the boys at the Huddle Sports Network on the NFL Roundtable Talk. That's on Roku TV and Fire Stick. And then Thursday, starting next year, you will be able to catch me, Jeremy, Marcus, and Adam as we will be doing, season 3 of the UFL. We're going to have some interesting storylines about that. So thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. And as I mentioned, you can follow us on all the platforms I mentioned, wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you guys very, very much for listening. And this has been another edition of Open Sports Mike Night here on Driving to the Top Productions. And we'll see you again next week, folks. Have a good night.
Us, what do you think, man? Where can folks get you?
Find me on X at BigHoss337, also on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Marcus on the Go. That show, which will be streaming Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. during football season, either on Driving to the Top's YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and on X, mainly through Adam's X. You can find at @onthego_TXLA on X and on Instagram. Tomorrow night, I will be previewing my final football team on the show. I'll be previewing the Houston Texans and schedule review, schedule prediction, uniform reactions, players coming in, players coming out. I'm also going to recap the previous week of preseason for both teams, the upcoming final week of the preseason for both teams. I'm also going to do a small preview of week 0 of college football. There's only 5 games, so I'm going to predict all 5 games. And I think that's about all I'm covering. Oh, I'm also going to shit talk Auburn claiming those fucking national championships. One of them was LSU's, by the way. So you got an interesting show coming tomorrow night. Clips will be played. Laughs will be made.
Marcus, I don't know how you do it, man. You keep on line all your teams, and I love it.
And I need to hit you up when we get off the air.
All right. You can get me at Sports Talking It on Twitter. You can get me on, obviously, the Driving to the Top Productions on YouTube. Hit the bell, subscribe. Jamie already went through all that. You can get me at Driving to the Top, but mainly at Sports Talking It. You can get me there the most. Ad McNally, you can get me over there on Facebook too as well. Yeah. And Rich, finish it off, buddy.
All right, man. You can get me on X, Twitter, whatever we're calling it this month. Big Rich 8371, or on Facebook. My name, Rich Richardson. Tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Me and that guy over there are talking about Steel City sports, the Steelers, the Pirates. Here for long, we're going to start talking Pitt football and things of that nature as well on Steel City Sports Talk. So join us over there. We appreciate everybody being a part of the broadcast tonight, everybody listening and sending in their comments and all that. Thanks to all of you guys for being a part of this deal. And until next Tuesday night, right here for Open Mic Night, my name is Big Rich. So long, everybody.
Good night.